guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back into another video. In today's video, we're actually in a 2016 Toyota Mirai that I actually own, and we're actually going to be driving from Los Angeles up to San Francisco. The person that actually drives this car on a day-to-day basis is moving from Los Angeles to San Francisco, so we're helping her drive it all the way up there along with the moving truck. So we're going to see not how autopilot does, but how the Toyota Mirai does with efficiency driving all the way up to San Francisco. The Toyota Mirai, if you didn't know, actually runs off of hydrogen. And I'll probably do a small review during this video and we'll talk about it along the way, but it only has a range of 230 miles on a full tank of hydrogen. And there's only one hydrogen station along the way that we have to stop at. So in this video, we're gonna see if the Toyota Mirai can make it, how much range or hydrogen we have left when we make it there, and we'll see how long it's gonna take us this whole trip all the way up to the San Jose area. Let's get into the video. All right, we're on our way up to San Jose from Los Angeles. We're starting with a starting range of 231 miles. It's a pretty much full tank of hydrogen fuel. You can see right there, it says full. Just to get to the first hydrogen station, it's 3 hours or 200 miles. So if you know electricity, electric cars or hydrogen cars, it's definitely very, very tight. I've heard that the Toyota Mirai does a lot better at highway speeds than local speeds. So this rush hour traffic that we're just getting into right now is probably not good for the efficiency of hydrogen. So let's see how the Toyota Mirai does on our road trip up to San Jose. So on today's trip, we actually left at exactly 12 o'clock and I have a full tank of hydrogen fuel. There's also a truck behind me and then another car following as well. So we're gonna go about 73 miles, about 70 miles an hour the whole time, just so we can stay efficient this whole trip all the way up to San Jose. And it's probably gonna take us about 6 hours, give or take by my estimate, just to get all the way up to San Jose, if not more, because we have to stop at that hydrogen station. Even though it's filling up at the hydrogen station, probably should only take 5 to 10 minutes at most. So I think we're out of the LA traffic, but there's one area of the highway or on this trip that's called the Grapevine, in which you basically go up through a mountain pass. It's a higher elevation and it's up a mountain. So most cars use a lot of energy or a lot of gas or power to get up that area. But I've heard that this Toyota Mirai might overheat or get close to overheating. We also have a truck and another person behind us. So hopefully we'll see how the Toyota Mirai handles that Grapevine area or the mountain pass area when we get there. I'm trying to keep it around 55 to 65 miles an hour, not really going any faster than that because I don't want to really sacrifice any efficiency on this drive because it's really close. We got another 221 miles of range and it says it's going to be another 188 miles just to get to the one and only hydrogen station on the way. So it's definitely super close. Thanks for watching another video, guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I have a Tesla Model 3 and a Nissan GTR and a Toyota Mirai, and I make videos about my experience. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. All right, so now we're going up a pretty steep incline, give or take. And so I reduced speed to about 65 miles an hour. And you can see that we're using a lot of hydrogen power on the engines to get up this hill. So hopefully we don't decrease too much efficiency on this uphill climb. You can see a lot of these trucks go a lot slower because they want to be just as efficient, or they probably can't even get that fast up these hills. So we're about an hour into our trip away from Los Angeles and we're doing pretty good. The computer has been pretty spot on with estimating how many miles we would get there with. Earlier it said we would arrive with about 20 to 30 miles of range left, and it's been pretty spot on. It looks like we should arrive with about 20 to 30 miles of range left according to the Apple Maps GPS. We just passed one of the high elevation areas, but I think there's another one and then a downhill area which will hopefully get a lot of this range back, and then it's flat land after that. But I've been pretty much keeping it about 65 to 75 miles an hour, and there hasn't been traffic, which has been really good. So let's see how it does in this next area, and we'll see how much range we actually have left when we arrive to the hydrogen station. So it's a little cloudy now. The temperature change through the Grapevine is pretty drastic. Before we entered, it was about 70 degrees, and now it's dropped down to 51 degrees. And this is the section where it's pretty much all downhill. You can see all the trucks are in their dedicated lane or some of them. And the Mirai actually doesn't have a regenerative braking automatically. You have to throw it into BR mode. So what you do is you hit down on this stalk, and then it starts to slow down just a little bit and charge some of the battery, or charge some of the cells of the battery using some of the regenerative energy while we're going downhill. So we basically went downhill this whole time without touching the accelerator at all, and we maintained about a 73 mile per hour average speed, pretty much all the way down, and we regenerated using the BR function all the energy, a lot of the energy back, and it looks like we didn't reduce any of the range whatsoever. So now we're about to get to the hydrogen station in about an hour and a half, an hour and 37 minutes. We have another 119 miles to go with an estimated 146 miles of range left on the hydrogen fuel cells. So let's see while we get there what type of range we have left on the battery. All right, so we've basically been on the road for almost 3 hours now. We're 11 miles away, or I think 12 miles away, 11 minutes away, and the hydrogen light, or the hydrogen gas light, just turned on the Toyota Mirai, and we got 44 miles left of hydrogen fuel left. So we're gonna get to the hydrogen station pretty soon. We're gonna fill it up. I'm gonna show you guys how that whole process is. We're gonna see how much it costs to fill up a full tank of hydrogen fuel for this Toyota Mirai. All right, so we're about to get off the exit right here where the hydrogen station is. I checked earlier and it said that it's hydrogen there, so hopefully we'll be able to fill up the Toyota Mirai. In terms of how much range it says it has 33 miles of range left, but it's cutting it really, really close to be basically empty. The gas light has been on for the past like 10 miles, or the hydrogen gas light has been on, but this is the exit, the Lemoore Hanford exit. And then I guess it's right off over there where the hydrogen station is. So hopefully, two things. Hopefully it has enough hydrogen, and hopefully we can fill up enough all the way full so that we have more than enough to get to San Jose. But this is definitely a nice break midway, kind of, so I can stretch my legs, go to the bathroom if I need to. But yeah, let's just find out where this hydrogen station is. Oh, nice. So there's actually a Tesla supercharger station here with a bunch of superchargers, and it looks like there's like an indoor area where people can hang out. So this is a pretty nice pit stop for really anybody. So this hydrogen station's all the way kind of once you go down the middle to the right a little bit. So let's go ahead and back up and so you guys can see how to fill up a Toyota Mirai with hydrogen fuel. So the one really nice thing with Toyota, when you buy a Toyota Mirai, certified pre-owned or brand new, is you get a hydrogen fuel card with about $15,000 worth of money, which you can use to pay for hydrogen fuel for 3 years. So the process of fueling up a Toyota Mirai is pretty kind of painful. These fuel pumps are really, really finicky. And so you have to kind of like finagle it the right way, or else it will not fuel up your car. There's like a nozzle here that I wish I could show you while I was holding the camera, but I don't want to risk touching an electronic and fuel pump because it's hydrogen, it's a little bit more scarier. So once you do is you attach it onto the car, then you latch it on with this bottom part, and then you lift up this lever over here, push the fuel that you want, and then it starts fueling. This fueling process takes about 5 minutes, give or take, and it's pretty slow, and it makes a lot of noise, a lot of scary noise, a lot of clunks and everything as the hydrogen fuel goes into the Toyota Mirai. So this is my 2016 black Toyota Mirai hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. It's basically like a glorified Prius. It's a sedan, 4 doors, an engine in the front, or hydrogen fuel cell engine in the front, 4 doors, but the back seat really can only fit 2 people because there's a middle thing right here that blocks you from putting 3 people back here. So it's really only 2 people that can fit in the back, 2 in the front. The trunk space is also pretty limited. It's got some stuff in here because we are moving, but it's not a full-size trunk. As you can see, the Prius is probably a little bit bigger trunk space than this. but it's also a pretty tall car. You sit up a little bit higher than a normal sedan would. So it's kind of like an SUV, but not as high as an SUV, kind of in the middle between an SUV and a sedan in terms of height. I can't show you the mileage, but I purchased this car certified pre-owned for about $14,000, $15,000 with tax. And I financed it for 72 months with Toyota at 1.9, at a special promotional rate of 1.9%. So my payment's pretty low on this, and it came with $15,000 worth of hydrogen fuel that should last me 3 years total. Woo! So this is where hydrogen gets a little bit tricky if you do not have a gas card or a hydrogen gas card from Toyota. You can see here a full tank pretty much costs $67.48, and it gave us 4 kilograms of hydrogen. This gives you about 230 miles of range, and depending on your commute, can only really last you a week. And so once you're done, it's basically the same thing. You unlock the latch, put down the latch over here, and then bring it out somehow. And then bring it out. You can see that this gas nozzle is humongous, and there's a lot of safety locks and latches that really secure it to the car. Once you're done, you just put the cap back on, and then you're good to go. So you can see that if you don't have the hydrogen gas card, hydrogen can get pretty expensive, because let's say you drove about 230 miles a week, that would basically cost you $67 a week just to fill out at one of these hydrogen stations. All right, so I just left the hydrogen station. We filled up completely, and it looks like our ETA to San Jose is another 2 hours, and we should arrive about 5:15. And it's another 140 miles, so we should be able to make it. I guess this first leg was really the tough part, to see if we actually could make it to the first station, which we did, but only with 30 miles of range left, which is pretty close. But we should be able to make it to San Jose now with enough fuel, more than enough hydrogen fuel, and then we can just fill up in San Jose when we get there. So let's see when we get to San Jose how much miles left of hydrogen fuel that we have left for this Toyota Mirai. All right, guys, I finally made it to the Bay Area. This is Fremont, but I had to go around a different way to get down to San Jose, but we made it. We left at 12 o'clock, and it's now 5:30 p.m., so it only took like 5 hours and 30 minutes to get down with no traffic. This is a Saturday, and the Mirai is arriving with about 49 miles of range left, so it definitely needs to get filled up when I get to the San Jose station. But yeah, I'm super tired right now. But yeah, I guess this is a good video if you wanted to see, can the Mirai make it from Los Angeles up to San Jose and back? You 100% have to stop at the station that's midway and fill up, but basically it costs you $67 if you don't have the fuel station card, and it will take you about 5 hours and 30 minutes with the stop at the hydrogen station, which isn't that bad. Thanks for watching this video. Please comment below if you have any questions, and please hit that like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!